Alright folks, Pitching Ace 88, we are back playing Criminal Case on Facebook. Let us head to case number 40, man. Case number 40 of 60. We're 2/3 of the way through conspiracy. We're on game, set, murder. Hey Ace, I visit Zoe at the psychiatric facility today. She's going through a hard time at the moment. Figured I'd come in for a late shift, taking my mind off it all. I might as well go over your reports about Rosetta Pierce past the Grimsboro University. Yeah, Jones and I have been poring over everything, trying to find the missing piece. You discovered Rosetta found a secret society Ad Astra when she was at Grim U. Some of the current students started the group right around the same time the meteor fell in the forest. I know, it's odd. Yeah, I bet that's no coincidence, but the group is shrouded in secrecy. Professor Charles and the group's current members are both keeping suspiciously quiet about it. But what is Ad Astra, and who are they? Really? And how do they fit into Rosetta's plans? Ace, I won't rest until I find out. I need to do this for Zoe. Those questions will have to wait, Ace. The body has been found at University Workshop. Another murder on campus? Well, when it rains, it pours. Literally. It's bucketing out there. Well, Ace, let's get over to the university. I'll drive. Do this. Let's do it. Yeah, this one was a really nasty one in the preview. Yep. Yikes. Head in a vice grip. That is a bad way to go. Not the way I want to go for sure. That is one of those ones where it's like, that is disgusting. My gosh, that poor girl's had her head crushed in a vice. What a horribly painful way to die, Ace. This is the work of a sick mind. And look, the victim's hands have been restrained with plastic ties. What on earth even happened here, Ace? We don't even know who the girl is, or what she was doing in this workshop so late at night. You're right. Reassembling those pieces of wood might offer up a clue. They were right next to the body. We've got our work cut out for us, Ace. The pressure is on to catch this ruthless killer before the night is over. Yikes. Ooh! That reminds me of like a Back to the Future type of thing. Safety first. Mrs. Fields. So these are our plaque, Ace. Mr. Fields says safety first. University staff director lists a certain Bradley Fields as a shop teacher. This must be his workshop. Maybe he can identify the victim, Ace. Come on, let's see what Mr. Fields can tell us. Ooh, he's got a bruise. My guess is the bruise is going to be a clue. Oh, nope. Gotta get some stars. See you guys back here when we do. This has been Pitching Ace 88. Au revoir. Alright folks, Pitching Ace 88, we are back. We grabbed a bunch of stars. Let's go back and investigate Bradley Fields. Hey officer, what's so important that you dragged me into the police station at this time of night? We'd like to take a look at this photograph, see if you can identify this woman. And be warned, it's pretty gruesome. Oh my gosh, that's Stephanie Griff. Their head stuck in a vice. What on earth happened? We were hoping you might be able to fill in some details, Mr. Fields. Well, I can tell you Stephanie was one of my students, but she hated woodworking. She was at the university on a tennis scholarship. She only took my class because she had to. But her heart was never in it. She'd be out playing in the tennis court all the time if she could. Well, thank you, Mr. Fields, for helping us identify Miss Griff. Now, Ace, the victim spent so much time on the tennis court, we should go and check it out. Oh yeah, we would love to do CC music. We just can't. YouTube basically takes it down and doesn't allow it in certain countries. Oh, darn it, Ace. On top of everything else, it hasn't stopped raining. At least you found a clue. The victim's wallet. And those are her initials, so she must have been out here earlier tonight. See if there are any clues hidden inside Miss Griff's wallet. Good thinking, Ace. That tool belt could have come from our primary crime scene. Maybe that leather engraving will offer up a new lead. I'm guessing see you. Scribbing says cut right. Ace, darn, I was hoping for something more than a brand name. Oh, you recognize that brand? You're saying that the university's groundskeeper uses brands of tools? Okay. Well, he's a grumpy fellow threatening a student with a hedge clippers during a recent investigation. Let's hope Mr. Burns' moods improve, because we need to ask him some questions about Stephanie Griff. Yeah, the rain effect is pretty cool. There we go. Interesting. Ace, there's a card on the victim's wallet that says you'll die tonight. That's obviously a threat from the killer. This card must have come from them. What does it mean? I'll send you to the 8th house. See if Gabriel can make sense of this mysterious message. I'm guessing the 8th house is a tennis reference, but I don't even know what that reference is. Gunnar Burns, secret agent Ace would like to ask you about Stephanie Griff. She was murdered earlier this evening. Another dead student? Well, that figures. Griff, you say, yeah, I know her, the university's #1 tennis star, a dang diva, princess if you ask me. Yeah, well, we're aware of your dislike of students. Just tell us what you know about her. Well, she'd be out on the court here all the time, even when it's raining cats and dogs like now. Playing with some guy, I can't remember his name, tall fellow with bushy hair and a red headband. Now, if we're done here, I'll be leaving. You weren't lying, Ace. That guy's a grouch. But you're right. Burns did say he outside Stephanie Griff with a fellow tennis player. Now, what was his description? Tall, bushy hair, red hairband. Let's run these features to the database to try and make a positive identification. I wonder if it's John McEnroe. Alright, let's see if his description of possible witness matches anyone in our database. Well, he definitely has the bruise. John McKenzie. Okay, not John McEnroe. John McKenzie. Okay. Which makes John McKenzie the perfect person to talk to about our murdered tennis star. Nice. Mr. McKenzie, we'd like to talk to you about Stephanie Griff. Oh, brother, don't tell me she wants to practice again. We've been at it all day. We're afraid she won't be practicing again. Miss Griff was murdered earlier this evening. Wait, what? She's dead? How's that possible? Hope you don't think I had anything to do with it. I'm not her rival or anything. Stephanie and I were doubles partners, Secret Agent Ace. We were on the same side. I never heard her. Nobody's accusing you of anything, Mr. McKenzie, but if you and Stephanie were close, maybe you know if anything strange was going on in her life. Well, tennis was her life, Secret Agent Ace. She didn't care about anything else. I wish I could help, but that's all I know. Interesting. Oh, Steffi Graf, you're right, you're right. That's probably where it came from. Steffi Graf's older, so same with John McEnroe. A buoyant energy surrounds you, evaporating your cares. Encourage this feeling of empowerment by trying something new. Gabriel, what are you talking about? It's your horoscope for today's. I'm assuming this has something to do with the killer's threat. Indeed, it's a reference to the 8th house that's particularly telling. It's not an actual place, it's an astrological term. You see, the 12 houses of astrology are symbolic representations of all aspects of human life, such as possessions, family, and relationships. The 8th house represents death, which is why your killer referenced it. This being the case, it's clear they believe in astrology. Astrology or not, they bet the killer won't foresee us coming after them, Ace. I did not know that that was the 8th house. Ace, I performed hundreds of autopsies on murder victims, but this one's been particularly upsetting. Although a wound on the victim's head indicates she was knocked unconscious before being placed in the vise, there's no doubt that the increasing pressure and pain woke her up. She was conscious of what happened to her as the jaws of the vise tightened. That's disgusting. Having your skull crushed with a vise is a gruesome way to die, Ace, but this is exactly what the killer did to your victim. What kind of monster would do such a thing? I have, Ace. This pretty good monster was careless. On one of the victim's wrists where she was restrained with those plastic ties, I noticed an allergic reaction. The reaction was triggered by high concentrates of menthol and eucalyptus, which I've determined are traces of heat cream, the kind used to relieve muscle pain. Clearly the victim didn't use heat cream, given she was allergic to it, which means when the killer tied her up, they left the heat cream residue behind. Well, now that you're on their trail, Ace, the killer's gonna feel the burn. Oh man, she was awake. That's not good. Our investigation in the mysterious society has been put on hold, Ace. We're here, braving the rain and the dark, hunting for a sadistic killer. Yep. That's... Alright, so... What's gonna lead into it? Who's out there? Alright guys, we'll see you guys in chapter 2. It's been Pitching Ace 88. Over and out.